A few episodes back, we tried to identify fake cycling products. Now it's time to put them to the test. Plus, some other unseen products.
First up, we have the Silka Impero Pocket Pump. The retail price on this is £125, and this one from AliExpress is £14.35. Grab my bike, I'm going for a piss.
Pump test.
Whoa, what the fuck are you doing?
We've got to test the pump.
What are you doing? Why my bike? I can't believe you fully flattened my tyre, and this better not be the only pump that we've got here. Many hours later.
Many hours later.
Oh, it is actually going up.
You've been pumping for 5 minutes.
I didn't even think it had done that much, to be honest. This is an absolute piece of junk. God knows how many minutes that was, and I probably have 10 PSI. Do we have another pump?
In the name of science, we're actually going to test how many minutes it takes to fully inflate a tyre to an acceptable standard with the fake pump. Here we go. Where's the air going? There's no air going in. It's just stopped. Look at that. Sometimes it pushes air in and sometimes it doesn't. 3 minutes 24, the pump has basically stopped working. We can find out exactly how much pressure is inside by using a real Silka pump. (19 PSI). It's not even getting you home. Next up, we have the Physique Antares versus Evo 3D printed saddle. Can you tell which one is fake and which one's real? I can, because the fake one is really shiny. It also feels a lot more flexy on the rails, but that's not the biggest problem. The biggest problem is that I rode it once and it's already peeling. It's peeling off. So, I mean, you could super glue it back together. This fake version is £77, whereas the real one is £300 if you to buy it RRP. Despite the fact that it peels off really easily and it is slightly heavier than the real one, it does have the same cushioning throughout. So the way they've engineered it, it has soft spots in certain places and harder spots in certain places, and it's nearly identical to the real one. So at least they've done that. Still can't recommend it though, because it kind of flexes from the rails. It just doesn't feel strong. It's so flexy, in fact, Jimmy is convinced he can break it. So go on then.
I don't want carbon in my hands again. Like that bit is so flexy. I could snap that, I'm not going to because I'm scared that that's gonna sharp and cut into me, but...
How am I supposed to ride home now?
There you go, there's the real one.
Oh, sweet.
Next up, we have the Silka Matone saddlebag. The real one is £60 and the fake one is £17.27. And instantly, you can see the difference between them. The real one has got lots of structure, the fake one doesn't. The embossment or the print of the Silka logo is nice and crisp. On this one, it is not. This one has an actual boa, this one does not. The weirdest thing about the fake one is that it took 2 months to arrive as well. So no real reason or indication as to why it took so long, but for some reason, 2 months for it to get here. Oh Jesus, it's got more branding on the inside. I don't think that is going to pass Silka's QC. YKK zip. Actually, well, this one is allegedly a YKK zip. It isn't a real one, it's just got YKK embossed on it. YKK is a brand of zip maker and they are astronomically huge. Their zips are very high quality even, and probably the majority of the clothes that you own that have zips will have YKK zips. This is what a real Silka inside branding looks like. They're not the same product. They resemble the same shape and look, but they're very clearly different things. They've done all right at matching the... No, they still haven't even matched the red very well. They do kind of look similar, the boas, don't they? They're different from that side. So it's definitely a boa copy, 100%. So the real one has got a little backing on it so it doesn't scuff up the pack itself. It's obviously waterproof fabric. They feel very different. This one almost feels a bit waxy. It's not taped seams, so it will still let some water in. The boa's gonna last, but if anything's gonna go, it's this end, because that's just some flimsy plastic. Like, I'm not pulling that hard, and that's already come off. Question is, does the real Silka one do the same? That is not going anywhere. That's like proper pulling it as well. Clearly, without question, the real one is significantly better quality and is just going to last a lot longer. For full clarity, we are sponsored by Silka. We haven't put this product in because of that, and I'm not saying these positive things about this saddlebag because of that relationship. I'm literally just comparing the two, and one breaks and one breaks and one doesn't. One thing the fake one has done better than the real one is the placement of the front logo is more central on the fake one than it is the real one.
Next up, I bought some Supercars bar tape. I've always wanted some of this. The fake one cost £7 and the real one £33 for a set of bar tape. It's crazy. Regular viewers of this channel might remember that I did a fairly big bike ride down the length of Malaysia, and I thought it would be a genius idea to put both bar tapes on the bike at the same time. Fake on one side and real on the other side. So we got to find out exactly how much they wore out at the same time. Both sides of the bar tape have lasted pretty well. Both sides are grippy. They're not showing much wear. Considering I've done probably 1,500 miles on this bike, there isn't any significant wear at all. However, the fake side is incredibly thin. There's much less cushioning than the real Supercars. The cabling on these handlebars is external, so the cables run directly underneath the handlebar tape. Okay, there's a thin layer of electrical tape over it. You can really feel it on the fake side, whereas the real side has enough cushioning that you don't really feel the shape of the cables. If you want your bar tape to be comfy, buy the real stuff. Having said that, is this like £30? Is that what we said? Really expensive for the real one, and it feels no better than the 10 quid stuff you can get from BBB.
I wonder why the knockoff merchants on AliExpress chose to go with Supercars. I'm feeling it literally right now versus the cheap stuff on mine. I'd rather have my tape, to be honest. You've got a bug on you. Next up is the Met Trenta helmets. So in the first edition of this video where we told you about these products, I managed to rip this one in half. So remaining, we have the real one, which is £220, and this fake one, which is £27.65. So if you did watch the last edition, you will know that we bought these weird little dot things, which you put on the top of a helmet, smash it, and it tells you if it exceeds a certain amount of impact. When we started looking at whether we were going to actually use these, we realized we don't even know where to start. So both of these are being sent off to an expert to be tested. Over to Theo.
I'm Theo, I work for a helmet company. We make lots of helmets, we research lots of helmets, we test lots of helmets, so I do know a thing or two about helmets. Here we go. It's QC pass, apparently. So this is clearly the real one. It is quite different. You can tell there's a lot, like, first of all, this isn't carbon. That's carbon effects. Like, they've made it to look like carbon. This back rib is different size. See this? They've obviously not copied it quite as well as they wanted to. A helmet increases the period of time at which a force, a blow, an impact is being applied to your head for. And therefore, it is going to reduce the peak force of that blow, impact, crash to your head. It's going to lengthen it out, and so you are less likely to get hurt. You're less likely to have a traumatic brain injury. You're less likely to die. You've got the foam, the EPS foam, and then you've got the outer, typically polycarbonate. This has got a bit of carbon in there. You need to put EPS in certain areas, you need to strengthen other areas in order to create a helmet that is safe. Straight out of the box, we've already noticed the difference in geometry, pretty easy to spot. So that recipe is different. They're not going to perform the same. Here, you've got EPS blowout there. You inject EPS into the back of it and that fills out all the rest of the space. And if you don't have good quality polycarbonate parts, you leave a little bit of gaps around in the tool, and that's where EPS can get through and can blow out. So it doesn't fill me with confidence. It's also something that is fairly easy to clean off. Look, you can just use your nails. If you look at the difference between these two, look at how well finished it is on the Met. I'm assuming this is the Met. We've never actually known. Like, you can't do that with this. Oh, a bit of double-sided tape there. Yeah, like there's nothing in here. I was expecting carbon to be in there. This is the carbon cage inside a Met Trenta 3K carbon. So that is what is inside the real helmet. As you can see here, we have just cut out this bridge. We've just sliced through this bridge, okay? Inside that bridge, there is a carbon rib that runs through here that just adds kind of rigidity and support throughout the entirety of the helmet. There's no one in there. This is not safe. This is really, really dangerous. That's terrifying. The other thing to note is that Met are quite smart here. Should we just pull one of these off? So there's quite a big difference there. This is all EPS, and this is all EPS which has bonded to the polycarbonate. There's no EPS bonding there. This is a very badly made helmet and it's really dangerous. And it's kind of scary that this is allowed to be out there on the market. Well, it's probably not actually. How can you do that? How can you have the conscience to do that? This isn't going to protect your head.
Maybe it's better as tape than as a helmet.
It doesn't even taste good.
You're gonna love this next one. This is a present for you.
It's not.
Unseen Rafa RCC kit. This is the biggest price difference from fake to real products we've got in this whole series. This was £22.40. If you were to buy this from Rafa, it's 300 quid for bib shorts and jersey. Aero, I got size small. For the viewers at home, Jimmy used to own a kit brand. Therefore, I think the analysis should come from you.
Right, so, first of all, 350 quid for the Rafa RCC kit is extortionate, and the actual cost of manufacturing that kit as actual Rafa kit would be no more than, well, probably how much this cost. But there is a humongous difference between good kit and not good kit, and this is definitely, well, it will function fine, but it is not the same product by a long way.
Is it going to all fall apart immediately when you wear it, or is it going to last a handful of times through the wash, or what's the deal?
No, it'll probably still be durable. It'll probably still last quite a while. The difference is the pad is going to be junk, the fit is going to be junk, the fabrics are going to be fine. The fabric is probably going to be the best thing about it, even though it's not the same ones that Rafa are going to be using, but it will still be technical fabric that will function well. The biggest issue with this is going to be that the pad is going to be junk, the fit is going to be junk, and as a result of that, it's probably not going to be very comfortable. Or it might be for some people, but it isn't going to be for us and the way that we like to ride our bikes. I think if you put this kit on, you will instantly go, oh, right, okay, so this doesn't fit me.
I don't want to do the rest of this ride wearing this kit, because it is that uncomfortable. Like, why is there so much material here? Firstly, the shorts, they're really short, and then the back is itchy on my skin. Probably should have washed it before just putting it straight on from the factory. And then the sleeves are really baggy, even though it's a small. Collar's a bit big, and I feel as if I don't want to wave to people anymore. Why has it got so much writing on it?
I don't know. So when Emily and myself were doing Atticus and we were developing our bib shorts, which is, God, the best part of 10 years ago now, any samples that we got made in China, this is always what Chinese pads look like. Oh, that has actually got gel in it as well.
Sturka gel. That's better. I've been on eBay I bought the coolest thing. Do you remember when you bought that wheel meter measurer thing and you thought it was so sick? I have something to rival how cool that was.
The demonstrator.
This is... Ooh, it's on. A device which tells you if a lens has UV protection. And we have a selection of real and fake sunglasses. These actually look pretty good.
Got how horrible the plastic looks on these.
They are, yeah. I mean, it's not going to be very easy to see in the B-roll that we're showing you on the video, but they are cheap feeling. These are like 10 quid each, whereas a real pair of cycling glasses from the big brands, upwards of £100. The first part of our testing will be putting them through the new Zeiss Protection UV Checker.
It's essentially a UV light here that casts onto the other side, and if the item has UV protection, such as my hand, the light goes off because it can't pass through. So for an example is, the VeloTool secret bike stands that we have zero UV protection.
The issue with sunglasses not having UV protection is that because they're not completely transparent, your pupils still react. They dilate because you've put a shade over them, and therefore they let in more UV. If there's no UV protection, that means you can burn your retinas out.
First up, let's do the Chicon glasses, made famous by Pogacar. The lens that they come fitted with does have UV protection. The additional two lenses it comes with also have UV protection. I was kind of optimistic with this one that it might not have UV protection. I'm assuming it's actually really easy to add UV protection to plastic. Focalese does have UV protection. Yes. Yes. And yes, all protected. And lastly, the 100%. It again has UV protection. We'll just double check the lenses it comes with. Yes, and yes. So, to my surprise, and I guess delight, all of the lenses that it comes with are UV protected. But does that mean that they are safe to use while cycling? Well, let's get on to the next test. The smash test. One of the main selling points of performance cycling specific sunglasses are, if you are unfortunate enough to have a crash, they aren't going to shatter into your eyes, causing you to be very, 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 very blind. So we're going to do a smash test. We're going to smash the fake ones, see how they react compared to a real pair of sun-guard glasses. I'll be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect. I thought the fake ones would obliterate more than they have done. However, the actual key difference between the fake ones and the real sun gods is all of the fake ones have shattered. So there's small bits of plastic that have broken off and shattered all over the place. Whereas the sun gods are still, all of the key bits of plastic are still intact. It's just broken off in large chunks. So what you're not going to get with the sun gods is tiny little bits of fragmented plastic, mostly on the nose bands it seems to be as well, cutting into your face. They're just going to fall to pieces and fall off your face. So for me, that's definitely a +1 on the sun god. Real sun god versus fake Oakley. I could pick the dirt out of my teeth with this. We've looked at a lot of products in this video. All of them have been low quality. Some of them are dangerous. Do not risk your well-being for some fashion trend. It's just not worth it. There are loads of good value brands out there. You don't always have to look at the really expensive ones like the ones that these fake brands are trying to copy. So put a comment down below any brands which you think are really, really good value that people should look into. So actually let's use our audience to help our audience with suggestions on good stuff. A brand that we know does good value stuff is Decathlon. So there's the one to start the list. Any more suggestions? Get them down below. Thank you very much, guys. Stay safe out there. Peace.